5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Bear with me, and there we are. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good day, goodbye, hello. One of those will apply to you wherever you are in the world. And a lot of us are wishing we were anywhere but Leicester. This is LTIDT from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube, if that is how you are watching, via your podcast platform of choice or on YouTube Catch-Up. Join in whichever way you can. Pleased to welcome, you can see him below me doing our University Challenge bit. Probably a fan of another team that wishes or is pleased that there's no domestic football this weekend because he's worse off than he was a week ago. Doug from the Dugout Football Channel. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It has been ages since we last did this show, so it's good to be back, and I hope you're well. And obviously, hello to everyone in the chat. And yes, let's just say that let's be glad that both our teams are not playing this weekend.
Yes. I think we can say that. Although we do have a game coming up very soon.
Yes, I believe Easter Sunday. So. Yeah, that'll be an excellent game to look out for.
Well, I'll tell you what, don't expect Leicester to rise again, because that's a miracle too far. I can promise you that. Oh God, 646 minutes without scoring a goal.
Wow, yeah, because I know you've obviously been saying for ages that you've not scored. I think as well. I think I've been watching one of your shows recently, and I think Brad made the suggestion to have like a countdown of how long it will take. Yeah,
we do have them actually. It's I update it every 30 minutes, in the hope that within the next 30 minutes we may score. Prashant, good evening, sir. He said, "Hi, nice not to have Leicester play this weekend." Oh yes, oh yeah. One thing, they can't bloody ruin my weekend. And Blue Fox Forever, all the way from Canada, is in. Good evening, everybody. Great to get a break from the sad state of affairs that is Leicester. Honestly, and I can just say that if anybody is affected by any of the issues that we bring up in these shows, the Samaritans are just a phone call away. But we're going to forget the troubles of Leicester, forget the troubles of Liverpool, and I will thank Doug for coming on. You can see his show when I take the comments off, and his link to his channel is in the description as well. So please go and show him some support. He will always wear it, I have to say. We are having a break, like I say, from the domestic. As you can see there with those two handsome guys. Say the other one I did was too handsome, mate. I couldn't put that one up.
I've never looked better.
All I will say is, looking at mine, I think I could do well in the Grand National.
I think so, yeah.
Oh God, I don't tell you, it's that just cheers me up. I tell you, we're talking football at the moment. It just cheers me up. But there's a lot of groups to get through. Funnily enough, we still don't know. But I think I'm just looking. Japan have already qualified for next year's World Cup. We haven't started yet, and we still got some groups that we don't know who's going to be in them. I mean, what a bloody cock up!
Yeah, there's games tonight. I think obviously we'll get to it, but Germany playing Italy. I think France are playing Croatia. I think Denmark are playing Portugal as well. So these are obviously the Nations League games as well. Yeah, Scotland are playing a relegation playoff tonight against Greece as well. So yeah, it gets a bit confusing. But I can't believe we're a year away, Chris. To be honest with you, like the last World Cup is completely gone from my living memory because obviously we all were having to obviously watch it during the November-December time, almost in the lead up to Christmas.
Oh God, don't! That's when our trouble started. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. Shall we get into this then?
Absolutely.
All right, let's have a look at Group A. Like you say, some of these are playing tonight, but as we kick off tomorrow, certainly from England's perspective, playing the mighty footballing nation that is Albania, we're going to have to do this tonight. So we are kind of playing a little bit of a guessing game. The way then you can see that it goes across the bottom. There's going to be 16 groups of, well, there were 16 groups of 3. It's now 12 groups of 4. Top 2 teams from each group and the 8 best third place teams from the groups will now progress to the round of 32. Hopefuls will now have to play 8 games from group stage through to the final, rather than the 7 that they're used to. So you win the group, you're through. You come second, you're through. And then the certain third places go through. Do FIFA just want to make these things fucking complicated?
I think the man you should ask that is Gianni Infantino, who just gets crazier and crazier with his ideas. There's too many games. I think it's the safest thing to say. There's way too many games at this stage as well. And I think the World Cup has been really good in the way that they've managed to get the group stages going. Top 2 go through, and then third and fourth go out. So they just want to overcomplicate things, I think.
They so do. And I would have actually contacted the said gentleman, but he's too busy playing with his new trophy. And that's not a euphemism for anything either. Have you seen it?
It is just bonkers. I think President Trump actually looked very bored when.
Yes. Passion actually says there might be something wrong with your mic. I did. It is a bit crackly, mate.
Is it crackly?
I could say. Oh, it might just be Doug's accent. Who knows? He's Scottish. If you can tell any different, And Scott is in. Hi, Scott. How are you doing? I hope you are well as well. And he says, everybody get smashing the like button. Show the channel your support. Thank you very much, Scott. Now, look, you will see, because the numbers, I have to say, the numbers next to the teams, not the number of fans that they have, it's their FIFA world ranking. So I suppose I could have gone for the UEFA, but as it's the World Cup, I thought I'd go for the FIFA world ranking. And as you can see, we go through, there's one good one not, reasonable one that, well, might stand, and then a crap one. And again, when you look at this, if you think that the top 2 ain't going to go through from all of these groups, it's a foregone conclusion. Luxembourg go into this knowing they have got absolutely no chance of qualifying.
Yeah. Safe to say that Luxembourg haven't had a great 2024 and had a good 2025 so far. And believe it or not, they actually lost to, I think it was San Marino,
Yes,
quite a couple of weeks ago.
San Marino's first ever victory, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that, yes, Luxembourg will probably be the whipping boys of this group, I think is the safest thing to say. But again, you look at Northern Ireland, obviously Michael O'Neill's back in charge. There's a big optimism about Northern Ireland's chances. I know that obviously they don't really have the contingency of calling up players from obviously like Premier League, Championship. It's mainly sort of League One, League Two. You could even go into the Scottish Prem as well, and they have players from Irish League as well. So obviously Northern Ireland aren't more than we used to be, but there's a bit of optimism at the moment surrounding Northern Ireland. Did pretty well in the last qualifying group in the Euros. Unfortunately, didn't get there. But I think Michael O'Neill's given them a little bit of optimism. And I think it's something that they badly need.
I mean, do you think that? And you'll remember, because I go on about this every time a national tournament comes round. We are literally playing games. I mean, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow, by the way, if anybody's interested, between England and Albania, purely because I want to see a team that I follow score goals. And if Harry Kane's playing, he's probably going to get 3 or 4 against Albania. And I might be putting Albania down a little bit. But why isn't there there's no excitement really, other than, how exciting can you get about playing Albania and then Lithuania? You can't get excited. If it's at Wembley, it's just going to be dads taking kids along to say that they've been to Wembley and they've seen England, etc. But it's a waste of time. There's no excitement for like with that Germany-Italy game tonight. That's going to be like, because of who it is. Why isn't there a group with just these sorts of teams in it, or maybe 2 groups with the Luxembourgs and the San Marinos? Yes, all right, they may be the whipping boys in the World Cup when we get there, or the Euros when they get there. But at least it would give them a chance of tasting it, and actually being part of it for a change.
Give you a bit more excitement, wouldn't it? Yeah, I totally agree where you're coming from. And yeah, Germany, Italy's been played to death. Let's be honest. I mean, whoever wins that, I think it's the winners in this that obviously come into this group. I think it's so confusing, to say the very least.
And I just think that, for me, like I say, I think I'd love to see Gibraltar at the World Cup. You know what I mean? Yes, they're going to get beaten 3 times, but they're going to get beaten 4 times in the qualifiers. So what is the point? It's just no excitement now in these qualifiers. But that said, I think as you look at it there, Slovakia, now just looking, they qualified out of their group at the 2024 Euros. They came 3rd in a group that was Romania, Belgium, Slovakia, and Ukraine. I don't know if you remember, it was the group where everybody won 1, drew 1, and lost 1. And they all went through. Romania went through with +1, Belgium went through with +1, and Slovakia went through with 0 goal difference. I mean, that was the most boring group ever. But Slovakia got through, and I'm just trying to think. I'm just bear with me as I look here what they did in the next. Of course, they lost to England, didn't they? 2-1 in the
extra time, wasn't it?
Sorry,
after extra time, I think
it was. It had to go to extra time. Yeah. So we kind of say write them off at their peril, but you would be surprised if the top 2 here didn't go through.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the top 2 will be the favourites. Obviously, whoever wins it, obviously Germany and Italy. But I tell you something, Windsor Park, if Northern Ireland can get their fans up for it, they can cause a surprise. So wouldn't rule out Northern Ireland, they're probably the dark horses of this group, I would say. I think it's safe to say that Luxembourg, for me, are the whipping boys of this group.
Yes, you're not going to go for a Luxembourg to go through then.
No, hell no.
And I'm just looking here to say at the international form table because there is such a thing. It's amazing what Mrs. Google can bring up for you. And it's clubs, not international teams. Never mind. But yeah, I mean Northern Ireland. Look, you know they could spring a surprise. I think either Germany or Italy. Obviously, Slovakia probably slight favourites, but like you say, on a Wednesday in Belfast, is it where they play?
Yeah.
You know, there could be Northern Ireland could spring a few surprises. But I agree with you. I think the top two that we see there are more than likely the top two to go through. I can't see Luxembourg springing any surprises, and they are going to be the whipping boys. Group B. Now, we do know what this is going to be. Switzerland, Sweden, Slovenia, and Kosovo. Now, I don't think Kosovo were at the Euros last time, were they?
No, they weren't. No.
Serves me right. But Slovenia were, Sweden were, and Switzerland were. We've said this, and I remember saying this every time. Switzerland are the team that always get through the qualifiers and then always seem to not get knocked out in the next round. You played them in the Euros, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. It was an absolute worldie from Shaqiri, of all people. Bend it like Shaqiri, or hips don't lie Shaqiri. They are a good side. The only thing for me is I'm a bit concerned about obviously the age of their squad. I think the squad is definitely aging slightly. I think the team to watch out for in this group is Sweden. Look at Alexander Isak, Victor Gyökeres. You could probably go through that Sweden team and think, you've got two of the best attacking number 9s in the world. You've got a really good backline. I think goalkeeping, I'd be a little bit, a little bit wary about. Obviously, Robin Olsen. I know he obviously plays for Aston Villa, but he doesn't get many games for Aston Villa. But I honestly think I look for this group. Slovenia again. They're no pushovers either, and Kosovo seems to be a team that is on the up slightly. So this is a very, very open group. I think if I would have to say for me, I think Sweden probably win this group. Then I think it's a toss-up between the other three.
Now, I've got to say, Sweden didn't actually qualify for Euro 2024.
No, they didn't.
So, and I'm guessing Ibrahimovic has finally hung up his boots. So are they going to dust them off and drag him out and wheel him back onto the pitch again?
No, I can safely say Zlatan Ibrahimovic has retired. So yeah, there will not be any more appearances. But honestly, I think Sweden have a very, very good side. And as I said, Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres look like the two that could really, really push their way into getting Sweden into the World Cup. I'm actually going to say this now. I think Sweden win the group. And then, as I said, I do think it is a toss-up between Switzerland, Slovenia, and Kosovo. But never write off Switzerland because they always get through. No matter what, they always get through. So I think it'll be Sweden and Switzerland to go through. And then it's whether or not Slovenia can get enough points out of potential Switzerland, and then if they get anything off Sweden, then it's an absolute bonus. And then obviously if they can get 6 points off Kosovo as well. But very open group this one, I've got to say.
Switzerland came second to Germany in their Euro group. They won one, drew two, but they didn't lose any. And they weren't very highly fancied going in. They're very low seeded. Slovenia came third in their group, so they were one of the third place qualifiers with 3 points. They didn't win a game, but they didn't lose a game. They drew all three, scored 2, conceded 2 in a team that included England and Denmark. So they got the same points as Denmark. And then in the next round, like I say, they met England again, and it went all the way to extra time. Of course, England, struggled at that point in the Euros, didn't they? And then obviously we went on to play Switzerland in the next round, and it went to penalties.
They knocked out Italy as well. And Netherlands we beat in the next round. So, but I mean, Switzerland, like you say, they are perennial group qualifiers. I got a feeling on this one, and I enjoyed it, so I'm going to have another one, that I have a feeling that Switzerland will go through. I mean, I think that's a banker. I've got a feeling for Slovenia going through, on this one. Slovenia, interesting.
I think Kosovo are the whipping boys again. I can't see them doing anything. Prashant's just come with Luxembourg have a better chance than Leicester has staying up. Don't apologise, Prashant. It's how we all feel, mate. It's how we all feel. And you're going for? Are you going for Sweden and Switzerland and Sweden?
Yeah, I'm going Sweden to win the group, Switzerland second.
Oof. Well, like I say, I've got a feeling Sweden might just struggle without the talisman that is Zlatan. I think they will struggle. I said they didn't qualify for the Euros. Group C, playing again tonight. Portugal, Denmark. Greece is in there. Some Gaelic team from north of the border. They're just making numbers up. And Belarus. I mean, I've got to say, looking at Group C, I think the whipping boys there are the Scots, aren't they? Sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I can't resist.
Yeah.
Get your own back. No. You get your own back later.
No, I think I think it's safe to say Belarus haven't been in World Cup qualifying or even in European qualifying for a long, long time, because of obviously what's been happening over to the Russian and Ukraine war, which I think if you look at it, I think it's because I don't bring obviously politics into football, but I think it's very, very unfair that Belarus has been kind of one of these teams that have been kind of dragged to the side almost. Look, I'll be honest. I think it's the loser out of Portugal, Denmark who comes into this group. Now, if it's Portugal, then look, I fully expect Portugal to beat Denmark. I think a lot of people are probably expecting that, but stranger things happen. If it's Denmark, I don't think it's the Denmark of old. And what I'll say to that is, they've obviously, I don't know if you know about this, but Kasper Schulman is no longer the Denmark manager.
Okay.
So it's quite a newish sort of Denmark side, and it's a team of underperformers. Rasmus Højlund, for example. Look, I know he's it's quite the story, isn't it? They go on a long, long barren run, and the first team that they scored against is Leicester.
Yes.
So I think Denmark could struggle. They don't really have the firepower anymore. But again, you can't really write them off. Denmark, they're always in and thereabouts. Greece and Scotland are going to be meeting. They're meeting tonight. They're meeting Sunday, and then they're meeting in this group. So yeah, they're going to have to get used to each other.
Yes.
I think when I look at that group, seeing if it is Denmark, and if we do get Denmark, we've beaten Denmark before. They've beaten us before. Home advantage will be key for us. If we can win our home games, then I do think we've got a real opportunity, and then see what happens in the away games.
Well,
But
I got sorry, carry on, mate.
I'm just very optimistic about our chances in this group. I really am.
The interesting thing for me here is that Greece 39, Scotland 45th in the world. There's not that big gap that there was in the first couple of groups. Now, I actually, if you remember, was daft enough in Euro 2024 to say that Scotland would qualify out the group. I never heard anything come back and bit me on the bum quite as much as that. I don't think Belarus should be there, and I hope they get stuffed 10-0 in every game. I don't want to get political, but sorry, I just don't think they should be there. Look, would we say it's the losers that go into this group?
Yes.
Yeah. So the chances are, when you look at Portugal as 6th in the world, Denmark 21. All right, it's a game of football, and it's a one-off. Let's be honest, but if we're presuming it's Denmark, Greece, Scotland, this could be one of the tightest groups in UEFA qualifying, because any two of those three could qualify. Greece did not qualify for the Euros. Scotland did. Unfortunately, like I say, you came home at the group stage, which I'm sure Delamitri would probably release a single about. Denmark obviously qualified with us out of our group. And then in the next round, Denmark lost to Germany 2-0. I would say, I'm going to say that Scotland qualify in the top two. If not, they could easily qualify as one of the best third places, because I think I'm not being disrespectful when I say it's an easier group, but it's more evenly matched of a lot of the groups.
Yeah, I think it's the safest thing to say. And when you look at Belarus as well, most people will be expecting Belarus to go away and probably get stuffed. Like 2 or 3-0. Look, we don't know what this Belarus team is going to be like, because especially with obviously what's been happening and obviously Ukraine and obviously Russia, and obviously they've got themselves caught up in that, and they've been banned for a number of years now, so obviously they're back now. So no, look, I think home advantage will be key, obviously, for us. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we do maybe finish either second or as one of the very good third place runners up.
And if it is Denmark, you've got as much chance of actually topping that group as the other two. Yeah,
and we've been Denmark before at Hampden as well. So the Hampden Roar is going to have to be very, very good for all 4 of these games. But no, look, I'll obviously look ahead to, obviously with what Scotland do tonight against Greece, and then obviously look ahead to what happens with, Denmark, Portugal. They're keeping a close eye on both of those games.
I didn't realise Scotland were playing. I do apologise, mate. If you want to go and watch them when they kick off, then please feel free.
No, don't worry. I've got time on my hands as well. It's not my night to put my lovely young lad to bed. So
you've got the night off. You've got the night off. Good.
Got the night off.
I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Denmark and Scotland to go through.
I'd be delighted if you said that. I'll go the same. I'll go Denmark and Scotland, and I would presume probably Greece get the third place. Possibly runners up, I would think.
Yeah. It's. I wouldn't mind being in that group, to be honest with you. But there we go. Right, Group D, France or Croatia, and you've got to presume it's going to be France that wins that. Ukraine, Iceland, and Azerbaijan. To me, whether it's France or Croatia, it's going to be whoever whoever ends up in the group out of those two and Ukraine, even with the Icelandic clap and what have you. I think you still got to look at those two and Azerbaijan again, just the whipping boys, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I think you've summed it up perfectly. I think obviously if France gets through against Croatia, then I believe that it is the winners of that game coming to this group. So, France, Ukraine, look, Iceland. Once upon a time, Iceland were a very, very good nation. I think they've kind of gone backwards ever so slightly. So I would expect France and basically if it is France, if it is Croatia, I expect one of them to go through along with Ukraine.
Yeah. I mean, Ukraine though did come fourth in their Euro group, but obviously Azerbaijan, you won't be surprised to hear, weren't there, and nor were Iceland. Ukraine got 4 points, but -2 goals, so they didn't qualify. Slovakia got 4 points, and on the fact that they got a 0 goal difference, went through as one of the third best. So I think we were in agreement on that one. This is going to be interesting. Spain, Netherlands, Turkey, Georgia, and Bulgaria. Bulgaria, who at one point had a very decent national team back in the sort of 80s. Turkey, they're always like the bridesmaid, aren't they?
Yeah. Quite safe to say this as well, that Spain-Netherlands will be a very cracking game. I think that's a certainty. Then two sides where I think you'd have to say are very, very impressive, Turkey and Georgia. I think Georgia did really well at the last Euros. I think they surprised a lot of people. And Turkey as well, another team that, obviously we pardon the pun, didn't really get stuffed this time. They actually made a good go of themselves.
You beat me to it. Well, yeah, I mean, Turkey were in the same group as Georgia for the Euro qualifiers. At the Euro, sorry. They came third with 4 points and went through as one of the third best playoffs. Turkey came second in a group that was topped by Portugal. Yeah. And Portugal, I think, got beaten by Turkey, if I'm very much not mistaken. No, they didn't. They beat
Georgia.
them 3-0.
Georgia beat Portugal 2-0.
I know. Oh, that's right. Yes. Wow. Yeah, that was a good day. But then again, I think Portugal were through, so they weren't too bothered. And then in the next round,
Georgia on your mind.
I'm hoping that this show will be finished in time so I can go and get the midnight train there. Between the pair of us, we should never go on holiday together. It would be one of us would end up murdering the other one. Georgia lost to Spain 4-1, so that was quite humbling. Turkey beat Austria, but then went out to Holland, Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. Spain, well, we all know what happened with Spain, don't we? They went through, and beat England. But again, we got to the final, so that's something. For me, I think I can't look further than the top two. Georgia possibly going through as a good third place.
Yeah, I think this group will all be about the top two, and then it's whether or not Georgia can have a lot of luck against your Turkeys and maybe against Spain as well. But yeah, I think it'll, well, whether it's Spain or Netherlands, you never know. But yeah, I think the top two go through, and then I think probably Georgia go through as a third place runner-up.
Yeah. Right, Group F. So this again is a loser, I think, of Portugal, Denmark.
Winner.
The winner, is it? Okay, sorry, I apologise. Yeah. The winner, which is interesting. Then Hungary, Ireland, and Armenia. Now, Portugal or Denmark, so the winner, which you would presume is going to be Portugal, they're going to be rubbing their hands because this isn't the hardest group by any stretch of the imagination, is it?
No. Again, Republic of Ireland are another team that are on, I would say, a little bit of the up, but again, we don't know who their manager is. You know, is it going to be, you know, John O'Shea's been the sort of the caretaker manager recently, as well. So, I mean, whoever it is going to be, you know, like if Ireland can get good results at the Aviva. I know it's at Croke Park there, but obviously that's for concerts. If they can get good results at the Aviva, then they've got a really, really good chance. But the other two, Hungary, you would assume it'd be Portugal. I think it's the safest thing to say. Both of them are going to go through. Portugal and Hungary.
I just hope Hungary don't bite off more than they can chew.
Hey.
You see, I just thought I'd sandwich that one in there. Oh, I'm warming up for my new radio show, folks. That's what it is. Look, Portugal. Did they make it through their group? Yes, they did. Beat Slovenia and then lost on penalties to France, having beaten Slovenia on penalties. So they were making hard work of it. Hungary, they got through their group, I think. Or no, they did. I think they went through in third, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Where have they gone then? Where have they gone?
What did they get?
Oh no, they didn't, because they were third place, but they came fifth in the third place.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Behind Slovenia, Slovakia, Georgia, and the Netherlands. So, yeah, I think, like you say, I can't see Ireland. I mean, you know, the World Cup started and they haven't appointed a manager. You've got to sort of, you know, that's a lot of confusion out there for the players. But, yeah, I think Portugal or Denmark, like I say, and Hungary for me to go through. Interesting group here, Group G. Now, is this again the loser or the winner from Spain, Netherlands here?
I believe this would be the winner.
The winner. With Poland, as I've put there, Finland. I obviously spelled that wrong. I was doing these late at night. Finland, Lithuania, and Malta. And again, here I go down to why aren't we giving these teams their own group at the, you know, 2 groups at the end, 10 of them, 5 in each, and give them a chance to go and taste the World Cup, even if they do come home early. Finland. Now, the thing I like about Finland is the shirts, to be honest with you. I did like the shirts at the last Euros with the big blue cross. It had a plus about it. You missed that with Switzerland, didn't you, earlier? You missed that.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, we know what happened to Spain if they are the winners. The Netherlands, they lost to us in the semi-finals. Poland, I don't think Poland got through, you know. Did they?
No, I don't think they did.
So that was Germany, Austria, Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania, and Denmark. I don't even think they made. Oh yes, they were 4th in Group D, so they were behind surprise winners Austria, France, Netherlands. Can you believe? And Poland, and they came 4th in that group. Finland, Lithuania, Malta. Do you think when there's 5 in a group that they stand a better chance of going through as the best third place?
I think in this group, especially when you look at the teams there, I mean, Lithuania and Malta, I think you'd probably say thanks for turning up.
Yes.
Obviously going to Kaunas, and I think when you look at Lithuania and Malta, they're probably 2 of the whipping boys. You know, Lithuania will probably beat Malta. Let's be honest. I don't really see Malta getting any points. So probably Lithuania probably gets 6, and then It's a toss-up again. Finland haven't been at a World Cup for a long time, so it'd be nice to see them back there. And then Poland finishing fourth in that group with Austria, France, and Netherlands was quite shocking, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go for a wee surprise here. I actually think Finland might surprise a few and actually get second, and then whoever Spain, Netherlands, then get first.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. I have a sneaky feeling for Finland, and possibly Poland then as one of the best third. I don't know, but I think that will be a tight one. One for second and third. Group 8, the aforementioned Austria, Romania, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think it's very unfair that they put two teams in, but there we go. No, okay, Cyprus. Come on, keep up with me. And the lowest team ranked in world football there, San Marino. I think this is quite it's probably one of the easier groups in the fact that the highest placed team in there is 22nd in the world. But I think it is going to be a battle between Austria and Romania. In fact, no, I don't think. I think Austria will top the group. Romania top their group in the Euros above Belgium, who didn't particularly have a good Euros, did they? And then none of the others. Well, obviously the bottom two didn't qualify, and I don't think Bosnia. I don't think they qualified either, did they?
No, they didn't.
No. For me, it's the top two there.
Yeah, I agree. Bosnia, I think if they take, 6 points from San Marino and Cyprus, then they've got a chance. But it's whether or not they can get points off Romania and Austria. And I think when we look back at the Euros last time, Austria were fabulous at the Euros, and Romania actually beat Ukraine by 3-0, and were actually pretty good after that. I think they lost to Belgium, but eventually I think they got through by the skin of their teeth with that group finishing 4 points, and then obviously coming down to goals scored and then goal difference, I think so.
Just to say, earlier on today in the playoffs, Turkey beat Hungary 3-1. And at the moment, this is in the Nations League playoffs, and Armenia lost to Georgia 3-0 in El Eastern Bloc Classico. I think that one is called. Right. Group I. Wow. Germany or Italy? Germany down to 10th in the world rankings, Italy in 9th, Norway 43rd, Israel 76, Estonia and Moldova. Whether it's Germany or Italy, if they don't win this group, there's something wrong, isn't there? Whichever one it is.
Yeah, 100%. And again, Norway, we haven't seen them at a World Cup for ages.
No.
Couldn't even tell you the last World Cup they were at. Norway, and again, it's whether or not Mr. Erling Haaland can do the business. It's a bit like obviously Rasmus Højlund at Denmark, as well as whether or not they can get the service into him, into Haaland, and see what happens. But again, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think whoever it is out of Germany and Italy, and then Norway, I think Norway might get through this time. Israel, I don't think should be there. Again, I know it's obviously bringing politics again into football, but we know what's been happening down away in Israel. And yeah, unfortunately, the other two, the whipping boys, unfortunately, Estonia and Moldova, they'll probably be like taking points off each other. But I don't see them being the other three.
Are Norway like their Scandinavian neighbours Sweden were with Zlatan? You know, if they've got Haaland playing and he's on form, they do well. If he's off form or injured, whatever, they don't. Do you think that's the case with Norway?
I think it is, and I think as well that they do need Odegaard, the Arsenal midfielder. I think they need him to be firing on all cylinders as well. So, no, look, it's Norway's time to qualify for World Cup, I think, and I think it is. I think it is this time. And again, look, Israel are pushovers again, but I fully expect this to be Germany / Italy, whichever way it goes, and then Norway. I don't think the other three have got a hope in getting that third place, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Israel may go through as one of the better thirds, because I think they've got 6 points with Estonia and Moldova, and they are no pushover. You have a period at one point where you seem to play them in every qualifying tournament that there was.
Yeah, there was a period between 2021 and 2022 where we just kept meeting them, and it was so annoying. It was like in the Nations League, and then it was in our European group that we got them. But thankfully, we haven't met them this time.
So I do think they could maybe get a point off Norway. Like I say, all depending if those two turn up for Norway or not. Look, here we go. Group J: Belgium, Wales, North Macedonia, Kazakhstan, and obviously the powerhouse we all know is Liechtenstein. Oh, I think it was Liechtenstein that you actually said would qualify, wasn't it? Not this time, but in one competition, I think you went for Liechtenstein to go through.
I think I went Luxembourg, actually.
Was it Luxembourg?
I think I may have mixed. Yeah, I think I may have mixed the two up between Liechtenstein and Luxembourg.
Easy to mix them up, really.
Yeah.
Look, at this one, Belgium, they're not the Belgium, that we knew. You know, the golden generation has come and gone. Wales, I don't know. You know, they could surprise a few in this group. I can't look past those two for going through. But I mean, how Belgium are still number 8 in the world, I don't know. They had an awful World Cup, didn't they? Not World Cup, Euro, sorry.
They were absolutely dreadful.
I mean, they played 3. They won 1, drew 1, lost 1. They only scored 2 goals in all 3 games, and they conceded 1, so they had a +1. But in fact, luckily for them, it was in the group where every team did exactly the same. I mean, they lost to Slovakia in the first game. They beat Romania, and then they could only draw 0-0 with Ukraine. And then they went through Belgium, and they lost 1-0 to France. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Wales will qualify from this group simply because everybody else isn't particularly brilliant. And I'm scared that I'm going to turn into Brad here with my praise of North Macedonia. But with this Belgian side, you just don't know. Yes, they're 8th in the world, but I don't know how they get there. But I've got to say, it probably will be, purely because you're looking at 67, 110 and 204 in the world, that it will be the top 2 that go through.
Yeah, and actually, for people who don't know, Wales are actually on the up. They've had a pretty good recent period as well. And the managed by Craig Bellamy, of all people now as well. So look, it's going to be very, very interesting how Wales do. But yeah, Belgium, they did sack their manager Tedesco. They did actually get rid of him, which took a bit of time to get going. If I'm being honest, I thought they should have got rid of him. Oh, well done, Kyle. Well done.
Yeah, Kyle.
But yeah, I don't think it's beyond the realms of impossibility of actually Wales topping this group, and then Belgium finishing second. I'm going to go Wales to top the group and Belgium to finish second.
I am, but it's hurting me to say so, simply because I want, as everybody in the United Kingdom does, we want the other countries within the United Kingdom not to do well. And I would love Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland to all complete. I mean, I'd love to bring back the home nations just so that we can, we can whip everybody's arse again. But and it would be a way of getting our goalposts back. If you don't mind, you've still got them. But no, look, if England don't get through, Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland would be partying in the streets. We know that. It's all rivalry, of course. But yeah, I have a sneaky feeling for Wales topping this group as well. You're quite right. But I've also got a bit of a sneaky feeling for North Macedonia.
Right, I do as well.
Yes. Right, Group K. Here we go. It's the hardest group I think out there. You've got England, who are fourth in the world. Again, please tell me how. I've no idea on that. Then you got Serbia 32 in the world, Albania 65, Latvia 140, and Andorra 171. Look, in the Euros, we came top of our group, won 1 and drew 2. We did make pretty hard work of it, let's be honest with you. Again, we only scored 2 goals. But Harry Kane's, look, he's on the form of his life in the German Bundesliga, isn't he? He's knocking them in for fun. Serbia came bottom of our group and didn't go through. They didn't win at all. They drew 2 and they lost 1. And one of those that they lost was to England with Jude Bellingham when he used to score for England in the 13th minute. And Albania, would that actually have a feeling? Did they qualify for the Euros?
Yes, they did. They were in Italy's group.
Yes, they did, didn't they?
They scored the fastest goal at the Euros as well. I think it was something like 9 seconds or something.
Yeah, they've got it down here as 1 minute, and then they went against Italy. They did go on to lose 2-1. They lost, well, they drew 2-2 with Croatia, which wasn't a bad result for them. And then they only lost 1-0 to Spain, in fairness. Although, again, Spain were probably through by then. And they probably said, if you don't let us win, we'll send somebody on to kiss you. Sorry. Albania, Latvia, Andorra. Can you see any of those 3 causing an upset?
Albania, I could see. I think Albania did very, very well to get to the last Euros. And yeah, they almost shocked Italy. They almost beat Croatia as well. Latvia, no, I can't see Latvia or Andorra doing much in this group. To be honest, I think England now have a manager who is really a cutthroat manager for cup football. Thomas Tuchel is a very good manager. I think I love the fact that he's actually come out and he doesn't give a monkeys what he says in the press. Doesn't give a monkeys what he says in the press. Came out earlier and said that England were very scared to basically not get beaten, and that just goes to show to me that it looks like he is willing to basically go at it. And I think England, with this group as well, they should be looking to top it. I think is the safest thing to say. And then after that, you've got a really good manager. You could actually go very, very far in the tournament. I really got a feeling for. I think you've got the right manager now, who is definitely cut out for cup football as well. Obviously, it depends on the group. Obviously, who you get, but I fully expect England to get through this group. And then I think it's a toss up between second and third. To be honest, I think Albania proven at the last Euros that they can do it. Serbia were an absolute disappointment. I think they were very, very poor. So I'm actually going to say this. I actually think England, Albania, Serbia. I'm going to go for them 3 to go through, but I'm going to go Serbia third, Albania second, and England first.
Wow. Look, let me talk about England first of all. There's only one thing worse than having a German manager managing England, and that would be having a Scotsman. You know, I mean, that's, and I'm not being awful there. You've had a German managing Scotland. You know what I mean? I honestly think that your manager should be from your home nation. I really, really do. And I include Sven in that. And I've got a very, very, as I know you have, a very, very soft spot for Sven. Rest in peace. And what if you have not watched that documentary yet, please go and watch it. My God, I don't think there'll be a football fan, don't care how hard you are, that does not have tears in their eyes watching that. What a man. I was lucky enough, like I say, to meet him briefly after a match, and he was a total gentleman. But I honestly do think that it should always be an English manager in charge. The argument it could be is, well, who the bloody hell would that be? I think you've only got the one, and that is the guy at Newcastle, and his name just remind me. Eddie Howe, thank you. I mean, he's just obviously gone on, I'm sorry to repeat it, and beaten Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, but they should have gone all out to get him. So if we're stuck with a German, look, I'm a football fan. If he wins us the bloody World Cup, I'll say he's the best thing since sliced bread. You know, and I'll start goose-stepping around my house in honour of him. That's probably wrong. That is probably the wrong thing to say. I'll do the old wallpaper hanging, you know what I mean? But Jordan Henderson, I mean, why? I'm sorry. And I'm looking at his squad. Now, I've got to say, look, fair play to him in some ways. James Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper from the Championship. Fair enough, you know. Aaron Ramsdale from Southampton, bottom of the league, but a good goalkeeper. Dean Henderson, Crystal Palace, deserves his call-up. Yes. Jordan Pickford, Everton, like him a lumping, he always does well. Always does well for England. Dan Burn, well, look, what can you say? You know, what a week it's been for him. And if you're ever going to say, I'm picking somebody because they are on form, then he's the one. Mark Gahey, obviously, I mean, a lot of those in the defenders I will agree with. I'm not sure about Kyle Walker, but he's probably still one of the best right backs we've probably got. Midfield, why, Delilah? Jordan Henderson. Am I missing something here?
It's 2025 and Jordan Henderson's still making England squads. It's baffling.
There must be some youngsters that he could have put. Well, there are youngsters. Up front, what do you think? I mean, Harry Kane, obviously. Solanke from Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not sure about that.
I get it, but again, it's on form, isn't it? He hasn't been really on form at all this season.
And Marcus Rashford?
That one is a surprise because he's played, I think, 3 or 4 games for Aston Villa, and yes, he's looked great. But does that really constitute a call up now? I don't think so.
Yeah. So it's interesting, but like I say, if we top the group and win every game, who knows? I think if we do not get through here, we sack Tuchel and we go and get Eddie Howe. Serbia, Albania, that is a very close one. It could go either way, I think, because Serbia were impressive, you know, and Albania. I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Albania second, Serbia third.
I've always liked you, Chris, going for the same as me.
And then I couldn't remember what you'd said. I was just going to ask you what you'd said, actually.
Yeah, I went England, Albania, and Serbia.
It's two great minds. What can I say? You know, France, Croatia. You'd probably think, is it the winner or the loser in here?
I think it's the loser.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be Croatia. with Czechia, Montenegro, the mighty Faroe Islands, and Gibraltar, who are on the up and have actually moved up to 196th in the world. So they, watch out for Gibraltar. Keep your eyes out on those guys. Look, Czechia, they were in the World Cup, I believe. The Czech Republic, as they've got it here on Wikipedia. Bottom of Group F with Portugal, Turkey, Georgia. 1 draw, and that was against Georgia, another powerhouse there. Croatia, they what happened to Croatia?
They slumped, I think, didn't they? Didn't they finish 4th?
I think they may. Oh no, they finished 3rd, above Albania, but they did not qualify for the next round. Spain and Italy went through. Spain walked it, obviously. Italy 2nd. Croatia got 2 draws. They got beaten by Spain 3-0. Croatia, but they could only draw 2-2 with Albania, and 1-1 with Italy. This. You'd look at it though and still say it should be Croatia and Czechia that go through.
Yeah, I think so. Even though how bad Croatia were at the Euros, they've still got a good squad. They've still got Luka Modric as well. I think as well, again, like I was saying earlier, with the Belgium side aging badly, I think it's the same with those of Croatia. I think they're aging badly as well. So, but no, I would expect Czechia and Croatia to go through here. I really would. Montenegro, they've got a chance. They do have a chance, but yeah, I think if we're all being honest, it's going to be Czechia and Croatia to go through that one, and maybe Montenegro get 3rd. Who knows? Who knows?
Doug, thank you so very much, young man. I appreciate that. We'll probably touch base again over the duration of the World Cup qualifiers. Your channel's there. It's in the link below, but give it a shout out.
Yeah, it's the Dog Eye Football channel on YouTube, and slowly getting back into things, and it's always good to get back into things. But no, thank you for having me, as always, Chris, and it's great to get me back on, and I'm sure we'll see each other very, very soon. Actually, we will see each other very soon, because obviously Leicester play Liverpool on Easter Sunday.
We do, and give my best to young Nathan and the gorgeous Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
And we will speak soon. All the best. Go and watch Scotland. Well, it's 0-0 at the moment, so go and watch Scotland play Greece. Good luck, mate.
Thank you. So take care. See you later.
See you in America.
See you. Bye-bye.
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 Thanks so much to Doug there for joining us. Always a pleasure. Never a pain. And if you want to listen to this again rather than watch us, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to watch us when you've got handsome buggers like me and Doug presenting, but you can get us on the podcast, whatever your podcast platform of choice is. Blue Fox says, excited, the World Cup is coming to Canada. Indeed. Looking forward to welcoming fellow football. Not soccer. Yes, sir. Yes. I'm surprised that with the way that Donald Trump's been treating Canada and Mexico, that you haven't pulled out, to be honest with you. That'd bugger FIFA up, wouldn't it? But anyway, good luck, Blue. Good luck. I will be back tomorrow for the watch along. I'm not sure what time. I'm just going to check now what time the kickoff is. We'll be back at 7:45. I think it's an 8:15. No, 7:45 kickoff. So we'll be here at 7:15 and be joined by Wayne, and we'll be doing a watch along for England, Albania, purely because I want to see some goals. Thanks very much to everybody in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. Say if you have been listening via your favorite podcast platform, thank you very much for that as well. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, share the video to your friends, and why not become a member as well? Leave a comment on if you're watching this on catch up. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Good night.
Thanks for watching These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.